What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review, as if it matters, for the movie Mad God, which is a Phil Tippett stop-motion animation movie that just hit Shudder. It's played a ton of festivals and everything around the world, I guess, but let's get into it. So yes, Phil Tippett's Mad God is finally here. Now, if you don't know much about the story, this is a movie that has technically been 30 years in the making. It is a stop-motion animation movie that was started in 1990, and when Jurassic Park came out, there was, a tussle between stop-motion animation and CGI. And, well, as you know the story, CGI won, and Jurassic Park was a huge hit and blew up CGI because it was the best that anybody had ever seen in CGI ever. It pushed stop motion to the side and kind of made people feel like it was done for, like it was a dead art now. Phil Tippett, who is the creator and director of a lot of visual effects using stop motion animation claymation for movies like Star Wars, RoboCop, Willow, tons of stuff. Anything you've seen a lot of like claymation or stop motion animation for might be Phil Tippett. Then somewhere in the late 2010s, he decided to bring back this idea and started making a few shorts. And then it started kind of coming together, and he decided that he was going to raise funds through sort of a fundraising effort online and asked you guys to help him out. Fast forward to today, now we have the entire thing on Shudder streaming as part of their subscription. So what is this Mad God movie all about anyway? Well, I'll read you what it says here, but it's not going to make sense to a lot of people, and I'll explain after. A corroded diving bell descends amidst a ruined city, and an assassin emerges from it to explore a labyrinth of bizarre landscapes inhabited by freakish denizens. Pretty unclear. This is not a movie that is going to be for everybody. Even Phil Tippett has said this. Something that is a bizarre sort of art movie if you are into movies like Blood Machines, where the music and the art are smashed together for sort of an installation that you are experiencing. To me, Phil Tippett's movie, Mad God, is a bizarre creative exercise in the mastery of animation, stop motion animation, and imagination, as well as a sort of bleak, dire outlook on the world in a metaphysical sort of way. In fact, this movie doesn't really have any narrative at all, and it is sort of suggesting and kind of pushing the idea and the concept of what life is about and how cyclical it is and how life feeds on life feeds on this is necessary, which is a Tool song, by the way. And if you know Tool, they've done a lot of stop motion animation that has been very dark, crude, kind of disgusting, and this is no different than what Phil Tippett is doing in his movie, only on a wider, more grandiose scale, and it is wholly his own. But at an hour and 23 minutes, those looking for a narrative are probably not going to have the best time. Like I said, it's more of an art installation than any sort of movie. But there are lots of meanings and purpose that are gross and fantastic shoved into this expertly crafted world that is dark, disgusting, and just fucking beautiful. I've seen a few reviews online, and it's weird for me to see low scores on a supposed movie that is an art installation that's doing everything that it's supposed to be doing right and what it intended to be right from the beginning. So giving it low ratings for lack of story or lack of dialogue is akin to calling the Mona Lisa boring because she doesn't speak, or looking at the statue of David and thinking to yourself, I saw it and it's really big and all, and I just don't get why he's nude and like what he's up to. Yeah, I know it took like 3 years to craft, but I just don't get it, man. Like, is he like lost his clothes because there was a fire in the building, bro? I'm just joking. I'm not trying to say that you're stupid for thinking that. But it's just how it comes across when I look at this, because Phil Tippett is a master in stop motion animation. What he set out to do is to make a world in the style of art that he creates. He's not a writer. He is a writer, but he's more of a stop motion animation artist. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was fantastic. All the sets and scenery and all the stuff that they did in this movie that I've never seen stop motion animation do before. He's pushing the boundaries with stop motion animation. And to be honest, like I don't think it's a dead art. I think it just needs some innovation. And I think that that's what this particular art installation movie, whatever you want to call it, Mad God, is. Showing art through the medium of motion animation and movie and art and music and sound and everything. It is a pretty wild movie. It's not going to be for those who are just kind of like looking to, hey, let's watch a movie tonight. No, this is definitely going to be for those who are into maybe watching, like I said, Tool videos, Blood Machines, with Carpenter Brute soundtrack and stuff like that. Lee Hardcastle, the animated guy who does a lot of the claymation stuff. If you can get into that kind of stuff, I think this might be perfect for you. If you're an old fuck like myself, well, yeah, you're gonna want to watch this for sure, because you grew up on like all this stuff, and stop motion animation was what we had when they couldn't fill a scene with CGI. You get the point. But yeah, this is fantastic. I really like it, and I think it's something I definitely want to pick up on like Blu-ray. I'm sure Shudder's gonna be putting this out on Blu-ray. If not them, then somebody, because 30 years in the making, Phil Tippett, this is no small thing, it's well crafted, it's well thought out. There's some new innovative things that they're doing with stop motion animation that kind of blew my mind. There is a lot of meaning and message and depth into the movie that is kind of dark and bleak and just sad and, I don't know, interesting. You could say that the universe isn't good or bad, it's just indifferent, right? That's what Mad God is all about, is that, it seems like everything that's going bad means like the God is taking vengeance on you, but it's really just indifference. And, we, in a lot of ways, are doing a lot of the bad stuff anyway. There's a lot of depictions of war, consumption, which, like people eating lots of disgusting things and just having no worries about just punching needles into the heads of, like, creatures. Imagery in this film that would make you feel a little disturbed, but it is all sort of like claymation, stop motion animation. It's just packed to the gills with just fantastic art that is dripping with brew and awesomeness from start to finish. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I think it's fantastic, and it's good to see that, you can still be creative with that. But again, not for everyone, but I loved it. If I had to give it a score, I'd probably say like a 9 out of 10. Some of the creature work and some of the gore effects is just awesome. I would definitely watch it again. I'm gonna pick it up for myself just to have. But what did you think? Did you watch it? Did you see the artistry? Just the sheer amount of hours that were put into this film, I guarantee you, is just amazing work. Like, this stuff is crazy, man. Thanks for coming by, guys, and as always, long live the board. Join us